Good morning.
You know, when I first got this book and told you were going to be on, I thought, wow, if I first had the talent to do this, but second, what a great idea, an ice cream binge across America.
Well, thank you. Yes, I couldn't believe it, but I am the first person to write a narrative nonfiction book about ice cream in America. There's been a lot of food books out there, but nobody's really tackled the subject of, going out and researching and reporting it. And when I found that out, I felt this need to write it really quickly and make sure nobody, quote unquote, scooped me. I wanted to be able to do this book.
And you've done a great job with this book. Sweet
Well,
Spot,
thank you.
an ice cream binge across America. Now, the first thing I wanted to ask you about is this notion of ice cream, dairy desserts. I mean, ice cream is really a name we use for a lot of different things. You must have found a lot of different recipes, a lot of different types of what we call ice cream out there.
I did. In this country, we actually have laws about what we can call ice cream. Ice cream has to have a certain amount of what you'd call butterfat and a certain amount of ingredients in it. Other frozen desserts like gelato do not, and so there's a more of a standard of what you would find about ice cream in the United States. But some of these other frozen treats like gelato, it can be very different, and it can vary greatly from one place to the next.
A big treat around here is custard, and I know that was part of your book and what you found out there. Tell us about custard, and especially as it relates to Milwaukee.
Absolutely. Well, it's difficult to explain to people who have not had real frozen custard about just how unbelievably delicious it is and how it's different from traditional ice cream. Frozen custard is dense. It's eggier. It's had the air pressed out of it with these really specialized machines. So I went to Milwaukee. They have, I know there's fabulous frozen custard in St. Louis.
Absolutely.
And Milwaukee, yes. And Milwaukee has really good frozen custard as well, and they have a lot of different competing frozen custard makers. So I wanted to sample the different kinds that they have out there and to talk to the folks who are making it. And they have people who've been doing it for generations. It's been passed down. The equipment, the recipes have been passed down from one generation to the next. And that was really fun to go out there and to talk to the folks who are making it and to hear the stories of their dads who made it the same way, 50 years before them.
Right. We have the Ted Drew's family that's been making custard here for forever. And it is some of the best custard I think I've ever had, frozen custard. Did you find one particular place where the frozen custard was the best in the world?
I really loved Leon's. I don't know if you've made it up to Milwaukee, but Milwaukee has a shop that's been there since the 40s called Leon's Frozen Custard, and it's his son Ron Schneider now runs it, and his son Steven is set up to take over for him when that time comes. And they have it down to a science. One of the things I really enjoyed about frozen custard is the sense that you got to kind of eat it on the spot. With ice cream, you can get it in a pint, you can take it home, you can have it shipped to you. Frozen custard is this experience. It's really best when you go out there and you eat it at the shop with your family or your friends, or even by yourself. I was eating it sometimes by myself.
That's right, sitting on the bumper of the car or on the lower tailgate.
At Leon's, there are no seats. You're literally eating it in your car, and it doesn't matter because you're having this experience. And I love that there's still this food in this time where everything can be delivered to your door. There's a food that if you really want to properly enjoy it, you got to go out there and eat it there. And it makes it special in a way that a lot of other foods, there's not that special anymore.
Amy Ettinger, author of Sweet Spot, an ice cream binge across America. Your book also looks at the history of ice cream, including its relationship to St. Louis, and that's an amazing kind of a transformation of this product into what I guess St. Louis is credited with inventing the ice cream cone.
It is. At the 1904 World's Fair, there were at least 6 different pastry makers or waffle makers. And one of them, it's still unclear who, there's still a lot of debate about who, said, I'm going to try to make a waffle that I can shape into a cone and put a scoop on it. Because the ice cream was being sold, close to these pastries. And that really changed the ice cream scene forever. It's kind of hard to imagine, ice cream without the cone. That was the one bit of history that really kind of floored me. Like, wait a second, you're telling me the airplane was invented, people were flying over Kitty Hawk before the ice cream cone was invented? But it's true. In the United States, it wasn't invented until the St. Louis Fair in 1904.
The ice cream sandwich, however, was invented just a little bit earlier, wasn't it?
Exactly. It was really being sold by push cart peddlers in New York City right around the turn of the century.
Your book, what was the inspiration? Was this a passion about ice cream, or was it the idea that I just want to know as much as I can about this thing that everyone loves?
It was both. It was the sense of I'm seeing all of these new ice cream companies coming into themselves, and and there are all these really old ice cream companies in the United States. I've always loved ice cream, and at the same time, I wanted to write a little bit about my childhood. And so I thought, what is a better way what brings you back more to your childhood than ice cream? I have all these ice cream memories as a kid. And so I decided to do all of it, to write about it, from a childhood perspective, to go out there and do the interviews with these people who have been doing it for a long time, and also do these interviews with people who are doing it for the first time. They're starting their own business, and what that feels like, and how some of these people have gone from like the high-tech world to ice cream making, and it's much, much harder work, they all told me, than, sitting in an office and being in front of a computer. And I wanted to get those stories.
But, what better business than providing something that everybody loves and puts smiles on people's faces?
Exactly. They all told me that they're working longer, and in some cases not making nearly as much money, but that the satisfaction of getting to work with their hands every day and being out of the office and knowing that they're doing something that makes people happy was worth it.
I know you have a short time frame here, Amy, and your book is the Sweet Spot, an American binge across America. But in the last 30 seconds, what was the strangest flavor you actually tasted?
I tasted some strange flavors. I tasted oyster ice cream.
No.
Dolly Madison's favorite. A chef down in L.A. made some for me. I tried faux gras ice cream, which was better than I expected. I tried garlic ice cream.
Why? Why would somebody do that?
Why did I try it?
No,
or
why
did
would they do it?
It's the novelty. It's trying something, putting ingredients together in a different kind of way. And, the people who make the faux gras ice cream, they have never had to spend one dime on advertising and marketing. People are so interested in the unusual flavors that they sell themselves.
Wow. Amy Ettinger, your book, Sweet Spot, an ice cream binge across America. Great read, great topic. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
It is 9:20 here at KTRS. Coming up, we're going to open up the lines. 969-5877, nationwide, 888-550-5877. And we love your texts at 84126. It was reported this morning that the St. Louis Confederate Monument will be leaving Forest Park. Is that good? Is that bad? Is the settlement good and bad? And I will make a disclaimer here. I was the attorney representing the Civil War Museum, and so I'm happy to answer any questions, but I believe that that this is the right thing, and I'm glad that the two sides have settled, but I don't know that it actually settles the controversy over the monument itself. Also, Philando Castile, the individual who was shot and killed in Minnesota, his family has announced that they settled with the, I think, the St. Paul or Minneapolis St. Paul Police for $3 million. Last week it was announced that the Michael Brown family had settled with the city of Ferguson and the police department for $1.5 million. What do you think about these settlements? Are they good? Are they bad? Are they too much, too little? And finally, I tried to go to a movie this weekend and could not find a movie. I want to expand my movie genres. I want you all to tell me, what did